If you are here, it is clear that you are gonna live without fear. You don't have to be perfect to start, so just show up. This is the devlog. I am Andrew, and I am the founder of SkillKraftz, or owner, if you will. It is a new brand that I am working on, and it is still being fleshed out. I honestly could not tell you the exact direction it's going, other than it is going, and we're gonna live without fear behind all that. A few months ago, I was sitting here wondering to myself, what am I doing with my life? What's the next step? I have been doing software development for like 20 years now, 15 to 20 years, doesn't matter. After a while, it's just the same old, same old. I build websites and projects and Linux related code. If you know what Linux is, if you don't, that's cool. Just follow along. It's a operating system for a computer. The point is, I looked back at my life and thought about when was I happy, and one of the times I was really happy was when I was running an eBay business. I was just selling clothes on eBay. I thought, man, this is a lot of fun. I get up every day, someone possibly buys something, and I get to go run it down to the post office, and then eventually I got the post office to come to me. And that was exciting. Slap a shipping label on, and it's gone, and we're on to the next thing. And it was one of those things where I realized that it is a lot more fun to show up for yourself every day than to keep showing up for somebody else for the quarter of the price. So, I sat here and I thought about it, and I was like, man, I could go back to software engineering and work for somebody else, but I'm entrepreneurial and I like doing that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure what to do. So on October 7th, I said, I'm going to make SkillKraftz and I'm going to go look around and find me a domain. And that took a while. That's why the spelling is the way the spelling is. And I am perfectly okay with it. It's skilling and crafting. I used to play some Minecrafts. Now we're going to be SkillKraftsing, and the site's coming along. I'm pretty happy with a lot of it. There's a couple things I don't like, but the point is, I realized I could go work in someone else's empire or I could build my own. And uh that's not to say that I should like look down on anyone who goes to work for someone else. If you want to work for someone else and that is the way you function, then go for it. My functioning has been, I work for people for maybe 9 months to a year and a half. Uh-oh. Pause time and unpause time to go get my food out of the oven. So, where was I? Could work for someone else, didn't work for someone else. I usually work for about 9 months to a year before one of two things happens in the software industry that I'm aware of. You get laid off, you're gonna butt heads with somebody above you, which keeps happening, mostly because I like to share my ideas and I love to defend them. And I don't necessarily think other people are wrong, but I do weigh the pros and cons. And if I feel like I'm not being listened to, then it's time to go. I remember getting fired one time and someone said, this company is a bus and we just need the right people in the right seats. And I thought that's insane because buses are for everybody. And if you can't figure out how to reassign seats, then you're not great at riding the bus or driving it. So I'm going to go drive my own bus. Um, so that answer to the question of what to do with my time kind of changed everything. I started talking to ChatGPT basically all day. I also work for an online company sometimes, and they had an opportunity where I could work a lot of hours, and I worked 2 16-hour days and made a paycheck in 2 days or whatever, a week of work in 2 days roughly. I thought to myself, what if I just did this for me? And then I started doing that every day. And that's a little bit insane, so I don't recommend it. I think that you should work a normal amount of hours and then like spend time with family and friends because that's important too. But somewhere between the 7th and the 16th, I got myself an LLC with the help of ChatGPT. It cost about $200. I did it through New Mexico because that was cheap and easy, and I'm not trying to spend a bunch of money on running on an idea. So I did that. That happened actually surprisingly fast. Within like 3 or 4 hours, LLC done, ready to ride to the bank and go get some bank accounts set up. Also happened within the next week. They were a little bit confused and hadn't done this before or very often, and no one wanted to get in trouble. So they wanted to make sure I had all my ducks lined up and that they were ready to duck hunt. And we played the game and I got my accounts. Then I came home and I was like, all right, now it's time to keep going. And I've been literally just kind of working as that snail from the never ending story that like goes super fast, but I'm still putting on layer by layer, like it's not necessarily complete. The vision is to make it look like a snail shell in a sense, as it's going to be a company of some sort, but what lives inside it, who knows? And what kind of snail it's going to be, we don't know. We just know it lives in there. Uh, I do know that there is going to be a community of some sort, and I haven't completely defined what that is. We're going to get there because I've come across a bunch of little misstep things here and there that opened up possibilities and ideas that I hadn't expected. I keep looking in different things because I actually have some notes on a screen in front of me, and I'm going to kind of try to stay on topic. Don't know if you've noticed, I've got ADD. Let's see. Also, I'm hoping that for whoever is subscribing to me, I'm eternally grateful. It's been a blast. I wasn't expecting the traction this fast. And if you like what you see, you let me know. If you don't like what you see, you can also let me know. I don't get my feelings hurt that easily. But I will take into consideration what you're saying. There's a challenge I'm doing with a friend. They're actually coming over soon, so I'm trying to speed this up and get through this, which is a disservice to you, but this is the first one, and it wasn't meant to be perfect. It was just meant to get done. The friend and I are going to work together on making YouTube social media content to keep accountability. Today's video, my short video, I've only been doing shorts lately. I'm trying to do longer form videos. This is the first one. The new challenge is a 90-day push-up challenge where we take what I'm saying and having a mind blank, put it into practice. Practice what you preach. That's what I was thinking. I'm going to practice what I preach and show up for 90 days and do the push-up challenge for a couple reasons. One, it's a pretty fun idea. I think you should do it too if you can. If you're able to post on your social media, go ahead and do it and join in. We'll hashtag it out. It'll be fun. I also think it's just a great health exercise, and I have been neglecting my health, and my doctor keeps telling me to stop doing that. She also keeps telling me to stop drinking monsters and doing things that are going to hurt my heart, but I'm not listening. That's a problem. So we're doing that, a little bit of accountability and kind of helping each other. And that is another thing. Always help the people around you that are going the same direction you are and get their help. It's way better than working alone. Ooh, let's see. So you're going to be seeing push-up videos, and I'm also going to be showing the other content. The goal is to just kind of keep getting my content out there, showing you guys what's going on. There's tools coming. That was what I was going to say. All right, let's get into the real meat of things before I wrap this up. There is like 2 platforms besides SkillKraftz that I'm currently working on that are actually probably much more interesting and more engaging than SkillKraftz. Can't let the cat out of the bag. It's Schrodinger's cat. Is it there? Is it not? We don't know. But I guarantee it exists somewhere. They're coming along. I'm not going to name drop or anything like that. There's somewhat working demos for me, for you soon, and that is the most I can say about how soon. I can say though, these are tools that are designed for creators. So if you're on YouTube or you own a business and you have somebody who does stuff that is to do with creation and making stuff to put out to the other people, there is going to be stuff coming that is going to be interesting. And if I'm wrong, then tell me in my videos that this is not cool, make it better, bro, and I will. So the I have also realized through this process that I've made a lot of assumptions in life about what I'm supposed to do and what I'm not supposed to do, and I've also realized through my friend that's coming over that's opened up my eyes quite a bit. We had an engaging discussion, and maybe I should save that for another video, and I think I will. Little tease. Sorry, because I really would rather get into depth with it, and I think it would be more fun to talk about. We all make assumptions on what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do. We judge ourselves. We have judgments about what other people should be doing and whatnot. And I've realized that a lot of these things are wrong. I'm curious if you felt that way, what assumptions, judgments you've made, and just come to the realization that you were completely wrong about these judgments. I'll give an example. I had the assumption that just because I am good at something, music, maybe you'll see some of those videos, that I would instantly make it just everywhere I went, like just show up, easy peasy, play a little piano, play a little guitar, maybe tap the drums a bit. Everyone's gonna love it. Wasn't as easy as I thought, and I way undersold the idea, or whatever you want to call that. So there's one thing where I was completely wrong. Turns out that likelihood things taking off is much higher or lower. Scratch that. I'm gonna edit that part out. Make an assumption about what we think is we're supposed to be doing. I made the assumption that going to work for somebody else was going to be the best possible outcome for me, and it turns out that's not the best possible outcome. The best possible outcome is for me to really double down on investing in me and doing whatever it takes to make sure that that investment will not fail. Something I also learned recently was when you invest in yourself, and this can be anything, buying a book, taking a course, I don't know, we're just going to stick with those two, keep it simple. If I buy a book and later it doesn't provide anything to me, it turns out that the real reason 90% of the time is because you didn't read the book or you didn't actually put whatever was in the book into practice. If you invest in yourself and you actually show up for yourself and for what the investment you put the investment into was, you have like a 9 out of 10 chance of actually succeeding with it. You buy a domain for a website and you decide that you're going to put the website online, but then you never actually write a simple page or even a it's coming soon page and put it online. The investment wasn't a bad idea. You didn't follow through. So that is something else I've learned, that it is always a good idea to invest in yourself. You can invest money in the stock market or your 401k and think that you're going to like get rich when you're old from that, but in reality, all of that money would probably be much better served in investing in tools for you, and also you making sure you invest in yourself and follow through with those things. That's a much better investment over time than just throwing your money off to the side and hoping the market's going to be cool. So I'm going to close this up. None of this had anything to do with being perfect. I know my videos come off sometimes as being like overly perfectionist, and to be honest, a lot of that is like or maybe they don't. You should tell me in the comments. They're fast. YouTube shorts are not easy to make if you're not clipping them out of something. If you're like making them on the fly, like 1 minute to 2 minutes tops is a very short amount of time to get an idea complete and then like condense it. And it's very overwhelming sometimes. But I will say it's also fun. I can't tell you how many videos I have on here being like, shoot, I got the didn't get the right wording out. Dang it. So I don't know if this said anything or not. SkillKraftz is about community. There is a website out there you can go check out. If you get on the wait list, it's mostly going to be, I will let you know when there's even more coming along, like an actual sign up authorization form where you can log in and do stuff, get discounts. Tools are coming. I feel like I told you nothing. But hey, if you get anything out of this, let me know. I got to go let my friend in.